Good evening. Welcome to UCLA and our celebration of the College of Letters and Science Class of 2025. Thank you for attending today's event. Freedom of speech, which allows for the open exchange of ideas, is a core value at UCLA. As a learning environment, we never shy away from disagreement. Each member of the UCLA community has the right to present speakers and programs, as well as the right to protest speech. Protests or demonstrations may not be so disruptive as to silence the invited speakers from communicating to the audience or block the view of fellow guests. The university will not permit a response or a protest that is so disruptive so as to effectively silence the invited speaker and prevent them from communicating with a willing audience. Campus officials are present and prepared to approach any individual or group who create a disruption. They will be warned, and if the disruption continues, they will be required to leave and are subject to arrest by the University Police Department. Those individuals could be held accountable under UCLA policy as well as any applicable criminal laws. Our goal today is to come together to celebrate the great accomplishments of the class of 2026. Please be mindful of other audience members, and thank you for your attention. The podium our speakers will use today carries special historical significance. It is the same podium from which Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. addressed the UCLA community during his visit to campus in 1965. Graduates, family, and friends, we present the official party.
Will the official party please be seated? Good evening, everyone. My name is Martha Bailey. I'm a professor of economics and director of the California Center for Population Research. It is my honor to serve as your college marshal and welcome you to UCLA's 2026 Commencement. I would like to introduce a member of the class of 2026, Yamaniba Imbukai Johnson. Yamani, yes. Yemeniva is graduating with a major in political science and a minor in education studies, and she will acknowledge our presence on the traditional, ancestral, and unceded territory of the Gabrielino Tongva peoples.
Hayitanane Panos. Hello, Bruins. It is an absolute privilege to be with you all today as we celebrate your extraordinary achievements in the arts and sciences. We are honored to do so on the traditional and ancestral territory of the Gabrielino Tongva peoples, who we acknowledge as the traditional caretakers of Tovangar, the land which encompasses the Los Angeles Basin and the Southern Channel Islands. But caretaker is a simple word for it. For thousands upon thousands of years, the Indigenous people of California have always known that to work alongside the earth requires you to learn hand in hand with her. To understand seasonal migration patterns and reproductive cycles, one must have an extensive knowledge of animal science and biology. To discern which plants will heal, feed, and provide, one must have knowledge of botanical medicine and plant ecology. To make a plank canoe float, one must have an understanding of physics and laws of buoyancy. The Gabrielino Tongva people are not only caretakers of this land, they are learners, scientists, and academics. Since time immemorial, right here where we stand, the Gabrielino Tongva people were the first educators, the first dreamers, and the first to hope for a brighter tomorrow. As we are all gathered here on Indigenous land, collectively taking a step towards a brighter tomorrow, I ask you to consider that what we are doing today is not simply a modern tradition, separate from those before, but instead a part of the ancient continuum of learning on the land that began with the first people. And in doing so, we honor the ancestors, elders, and current generations, past, present, and emerging. But we also must accept that this comes with a great responsibility, one to the earth, one to the community, and one to yourself. As we move forward in our relationship between Indigenous and non-Indigenous peoples, it is essential that we think critically about how we will challenge ongoing Native erasure. This means, as guests of Tovangar and the Greater Turtle Island, that it is vital that we include Indigenous knowledge holders in our storytelling, integrate Indigenous pedagogies into our curriculums, and incorporate Indigenous methodologies into our climate solutions. We are still here. As Indigenous people, we are taught that our Creator molded our bodies from a ball of clay, our fingers from abalone shells, and our hair from sweetgrass. We are one with the earth because we are composed of her, and in honoring her, we respect ourselves and the ancestors who have returned to her. And like the earth, we are not going anywhere. Ahiaha, Akina, thank you.
Thank you, Yamimba. And congratulations to you on earning your degree. Hello, graduates. They told me this was the quiet one. Let me try that again. Hello, graduates. Hello, graduates. This is your day. And to the parents, grandparents, partners, siblings, mentors, friends, and other family members, welcome. We know you are a big part of their success and a big part of the reason we've gathered. Congratulations, today is your achievement too. So now, to the class of 2026, you have so much to be proud of. First, you earned your place at one of the finest universities in the world. And then you did something even harder. You finished. Yeah. You entered UCLA in a time of many challenges. Many of you may have come right after the pandemic shut down your high school degree. We were just returning to campus, but you kept learning anyway. You filled our labs, our lecture halls, our libraries. You pushed your professors and your peers with hard questions, and you showed up. So the degree you earned tonight is not only proof of what you know, but it's a testament to the person, well, I should say, the Bruin that you've become while earning it. Congratulations. So while I was preparing my remarks, I wondered what I might offer you from some of my research as an economic historian, and I wanted to just share a little bit with you. What came to mind were lessons from the 1960s. Now, no moment is like the present, but I will say this is a not-so-distant era that many grandparents in this room may have lived through and may remember. It was a period of social upheaval, political division, and war. It's a moment so powerful that many of us can't look away, and much of my scholarship has been focused on studying this era for exactly that reason. What a lot of people remember about the 1960s is its idealism, but one of the things I think about and what I've learned by studying the era and what it makes me think about is not the idealism, but its courage. So in the 1960s, a generation of Americans just like you saw poverty and the abundance of America's post-war boom. They saw rampant racial discrimination, and those problems were not new, but what was new is what they chose to try and do about it. They passed the Civil Rights Act, the Voting Rights Act. They created Head Start and community health centers to expand opportunities for poor children and increase access to preventative medicine. They passed Medicare so that Americans could retire without losing their health insurance. And they passed the Higher Education Act, which many of you may not have heard of, but it's the same bill that funded the financial aid that probably helped many of you through UCLA to this day. So it's easy to look back at the past and think there are great moments, there's some exciting things that they did. But one of the things, too, I'll say as a scholar, is the handful of things I mentioned were a handful of successes, but there were many, many, many more that they tried. And the policies and collective efforts weren't all successful. In fact, most of them failed and did not survive, and we may not continue to talk about them. But for me, one of the most remarkable things about the era is not what succeeded or failed, but it's the era's willingness to experiment. There were problems, they wanted to solve them, and they tried whatever it took, even when the odds seemed long. So like the young people of the 1960s, you are graduating in a rapidly changing world with a lot of uncertainty. You will be tempted very often, again and again, to choose the safe version of your life, the sure bet, the low-hanging fruit, the easy way. My challenge to you tonight is to resist that, at least some of the time. You will also be tempted to look away, to be distracted, to let someone else step forward first. I challenge you, Bruins, to resist that too. The things that matter the most, the things that have big effects, are not always those that succeed, but they begin with someone choosing the hard way, with someone who stepped forward, with someone who persisted in spite of failure, often many failures. Class of 2026, I challenge you to be that someone. So today, you enter a common history with the Bruins before you. Generations who tried things without knowing how they'd end. You are now a proud part of that tradition. Tonight, we celebrate the passion and the hard work that carried you to this stage, and the courage that you will and the courage that you will bring to build a world better than the ones you found. So I challenge you to be bold, to try new things. Congratulations, class of 2026. So in now singing the national anthem this evening is Akshar Sharmu. Akshar is graduating today with a degree in climate science. Everyone, please rise for the singing of the national anthem. And welcome, Akshar.
Say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Thank you, Ashkar. You may be seated. I'm pleased to introduce the Senior Dean of the College and Dean of Physical Science, Miguel Garcia Garibay.
Hello, UCLA graduates. On behalf of the deans, faculty, and honored guests who join me on this stage, I welcome you and your family to the commencement ceremony for the College of Letters and Science. I would also like to thank Professor Bailey, our college marshal, for greeting us this evening. Graduates, this is a day to acknowledge your achievements and to celebrate the culmination of your undergraduate studies. You have met the highest challenges of education. You have been partners with faculty in our quest to learn and discover. You will be the next generation of leaders in the fields that you pursue. Class of 2026, your academic journey has led you here to this historic moment in time, which will never come again, but together we look toward a very bright future. Graduates, joining us here today are many special people who stood by you through your years at UCLA, your family and friends. I would like to ask the parents, the partners, the friends of the family and family members of our graduates to please stand. Graduates, please join me in acknowledging your guests. Thank you. Now, I am pleased to introduce the 7th Chancellor of UCLA, Julio Frank. Let's do it. Since taking office, Chancellor Frank has championed efforts to build greater connections on campus, expanded partnership with the community, encouraged dialogue across difference, and reinforced his commitment to academic excellence and public service. Together with the UCLA community, he is advancing a collective vision for the university future called One UCLA. Please join me welcoming UCLA Chancellor Julio Frank.
Good evening, everyone. It is my great honor to preside over today's ceremony and to celebrate the remarkable UCLA class of 2026. To our graduates, congratulations! This moment belongs to all of you, and I hope you feel a deep sense of pride as you mark this milestone. But no one reaches this day alone. Let's applaud again the parents, families, friends, faculty, staff, coaches, and mentors whose support and encouragement help make this achievement possible. Graduation is a time to reflect on the moments that shape your lives as Bruins. You may remember stepping onto Bruin Walk for the first time. You may remember a class that questioned your assumptions about the world. You may remember late-night conversations on the Hill or the rhythm of the 8 clap rising around you in Poly. At the time, those moments may have seemed ordinary. Years from now, however, you will return to them some of your most cherished memories. The talent and ambition you brought to UCLA has been transformed. You are leaving with a deeper understanding of yourselves, of others, and of the world you will now help shape. We call this UCLA for life. I would like to speak briefly about the world you are entering. We're living in a moment marked by an unprecedented mix of pressure and promise. New discoveries are expanding what is possible, and the future can seem limitless. At the same time, though, polarization is dividing our communities, and trust in institutions is declining. In this complex context, you are about to enter the most dynamic labor market in history, mostly due to advances in technology, which are both creating new jobs and disrupting existing ones. These challenges will help shape the future you inherit. They also offer opportunities for you yourselves to shape that future. As you leave UCLA, you carry with you more than the knowledge you gain in your classes. You carry the values that underpin our value to society. The search for truth, freedom of expression, respectful disagreement, expansion of opportunity, embrace of difference, dedication to service, and the relentless pursuit of inclusive excellence. These are not just university values, they are human values. They help us find common ground, and they remind us that disagreement does not have to mean division. In moments like this, values matter most when they guide our actions. I believe one action is especially important: kindness to strangers. Let me tell you why this matters to me, not just as UCLA's chancellor, but as a person. The defining moment of my life happened, like with many other people, before I was born. In the 1930s, my paternal grandparents were forced to flee Germany, along with their 2 young children, my father, who was 6, and my aunt, who was 4. A series of unlikely events brought them to Mexico, a country poorer in material wealth, but richer in tolerance, solidarity, and kindness to strangers. It is relatively easy to be kind to people who look like us, sound like us, pray like us, love like us. It is much more difficult to show kindness across those differences. That kindness saved my family. It allowed them to rebuild their lives, and it made my own life possible. Like all my siblings and cousins, I was raised with a sense of responsibility to give back. We have all dedicated our careers to public service, to medicine, science, music, and education, because we understood what kindness can make possible. Today, I believe this more strongly than ever. In a time when it is easy to retreat into our own silos, kindness is a way of building connection. It reminds us of our shared humanity, and it opens the door to understanding. That brings me back to you and to UCLA. As graduates of this great institution, you now carry UCLA's mission far beyond Westwood. UCLA will always be part of you, and you will always be part of UCLA. Our university's motto, Fiat Lux, or let there be light, is not just a phrase. It is a call to action for the rest of your lives. Let your learning be a source of light. Let your voice bring light to difficult conversations. And let your actions shine light where it is needed most. When you are unsure where to begin, begin with kindness. Class of 2026, may you lead with intellect, humility, and heart. May you use what you have learned here not only to improve your own lives, but also to improve the lives of others. And may you stay connected as one UCLA. Congratulations and go Bruins!
Thank you, Chancellor Frank. My name is Adriana Galvan, Dean and Vice Provost of Undergraduate Education. My fellow deans and I are honored to acknowledge the students who graduate today with very special academic achievements. I'd like to recognize the students who are graduating with one of the highest academic awards the College of Letters and Science can give to an undergraduate, the designation of College Honors. The extraordinary students who are graduating today have completed outstanding work in their major and a special set of rigorous courses. Of the thousands of students who are graduating from UCLA this year, nearly 200 are receiving college honors. Will the students who are graduating today with college honors please stand? Thank you. Please be seated. Dean Johnson will recognize your service in the community.
Graduates, my name is Tracy Johnson and I'm Dean of Life Sciences. I am so pleased to recognize our many students who are involved in projects in the community. They accomplish this work through campus programs that bring together civic involvement and academic coursework. So would all the graduating seniors who served in the community please stand if you're able. Thank you. Dean Valenzuela will recognize the Chancellor's Service Award recipients.
Graduates, my name is Abel Valenzuela, and I serve as Dean of Social Sciences. I am privileged to acknowledge the recipients of the 2026 Chancellor's Service Award. The Chancellor's Service Award is presented to students whose college careers have been distinguished by dedication to UCLA and the community. These students, 88 of them this year, have earned this distinction through a sustained record of outstanding leadership and service. Will the students who have been honored as recipients of the Chancellor's Service Award please stand if you are able so that we can recognize your superb commitment. Thank you. Please be seated. Dean Stern will now recognize those who have earned Latin honors.
Graduates, good evening. My name is Alexandra Minna-Stern. I'm the Dean of Humanities at UCLA. I would like to present our students who are receiving Latin honors, which is recognition for the highest academic achievement. And as you all know, there are 3 levels of Latin honors. First, I would like to acknowledge our students who have received cum laude honors. Please stand if you are able and be recognized. Congratulations. Please be seated. Next, I would like to honor our students who are graduating magna cum laude. Please stand if you are able and be recognized for your accomplishments. Thank you. Please be seated. Finally, let us honor the students who are graduating with the highest Latin honors, summa cum laude. Please stand and be recognized with highest praise. Thank you. Congratulations to all of you who received Latin honors. Dean Garcia Garabay will recognize your effort in research.
Hello again, graduates. I would like to recognize students who have participated in research while at UCLA. As you know, UCLA is one of the world's great research universities. In fact, more than half of our students enhance their academic careers by working alongside faculty on projects, or writing an honors thesis, or participating in research classes. These students perform original work and advance the frontiers of knowledge. Would all the graduating seniors who participated in research please stand so that we can recognize your achievements if you're able. And that is why we are one of the best research universities. Congratulations.
Thank you, Dean Garcia Garibay. Graduates, you've excelled in everything you've put your mind to, from research to community service, from academic success to personal achievement. You've spent years at UCLA becoming well-rounded and ready to begin a new chapter. Your student speaker for this evening embodies many of your own successes. It is my pleasure to introduce today's student speaker, Ria Haralipar. Ria is from the Bay Area and is graduating with degrees in economics and data science. Ria believes that some of life's most valuable lessons are learned outside the traditional classroom. While at UCLA, she was involved in many student organizations, participated in environmental initiatives, joined dance teams, and actively sought out experiences to broaden her understanding of the world. Please welcome Ria.
Good evening, Chancellor, faculty, loved ones, but most importantly, the incredible class of 2026. Today, we graduate from UCLA, one of the world's leading public universities and top research institutions, defined by academic excellence and a spirit of curiosity, innovation, and impact. From standing together through the Los Angeles fires to experiencing moments of triumph, like the NCAA Women's Championship, and yes, home to the #1 dining hall food in the nation, this is a place that has shaped each of us into thinkers, creators, and leaders. But here at UCLA, we experience something else too. Something we may not have even realized was shaping us. A hidden form of community. When we think about what carried us here today, we think about the people we know, our friends, our families, our professors, but there is something quieter that carried us through UCLA. I like to call it the hidden we. It's not the community we formed with the people we know. The hidden we is the community we built with the people we don't know. It's the unspoken trust of leaving your laptop in Powell while you step away and somehow knowing it will still be there when you return. It's standing outside your final exam at Ackerman Grand Ballroom, heart racing, realizing you forgot a pencil and a stranger handing you one, knowing you'll probably never get it back. It's the cultural organization that spent months preparing for a showcase in Royce Hall, not for recognition, but to share a part of themselves with people whose names they may never know. It's the quiet understanding that even in a place this large, you are never entirely on your own. When one of us moved forward, like every woman who walked into a boardroom, a lab, or a locker room that wasn't built for her and stayed anyway, it made it just a little easier for the next person to do the same. Here at UCLA, it brought together people from many different backgrounds and paths. Nearly a third of us first-generation students, many navigating unfamiliar circumstances and new expectations. And still, somehow, we found support, not just in the people we knew, but in the ones that we didn't. And that truly is the strength of our community. And that's why, as we move forward, uncertainty doesn't have to feel isolating, because change isn't something we face alone. We've already learned how to take risks, walk into new rooms, and figure things out, even when we didn't feel fully prepared. We did it here. And that same support system doesn't disappear after today. It expands. It exists in every room we walk into, and the strangers will become collaborators, mentors, and unexpected sources of support. So, take the risk. Go after the opportunity. Do the uncertain, exciting, ambitious things, because this community stands behind you, and you are never operating entirely on your own. That quiet network we experienced here at UCLA goes with us. So, as you walk out of here today, find someone you've never spoken to before. Introduce yourself. Without realizing it, they might have been your hidden we, the person who handed you that pencil right before the final exam. They might become your co-founder, or simply someone whose life you changed in a way you may never get to see. So wherever life takes you next, move forward with confidence and the relentless drive to achieve your goals, because this community will always stand behind you, and it will continue to open doors, create opportunities, and make what once felt impossible within reach. Because we will always be the UCLA Bruins.
Thank you for your wonderful remarks. You are so good. It is now my pleasure and honor to introduce today's distinguished speaker, Jackie Joyner-Kersee. Before she became an Olympic legend, Jackie Joyner-Kersee was a Bruin. She arrived at UCLA from East St. Louis with extraordinary talent, determination, and ambition. Here on campus, she pursued excellence in two sports, competing as a standout student athlete in both basketball and track and field. Long before she leapt into the hearts of millions around the world, she balanced practices, competitions, classes, and the daily challenges of student life at UCLA, much like the graduates seated before us today. What followed was one of the most remarkable athletic careers in history. Jackie competed at 4 Olympic Games and won 6 Olympic medals, including 3 gold medals. She redefined what was possible in the heptathlon and long jump, setting records that have endured for decades. She amassed so many medals and records across so many decades and disciplines that they are often distilled into a single distinction: the greatest female athlete of the 20th century. But what makes Jackie Joyner-Kersee truly extraordinary is that her legacy extends far beyond the track. Throughout her life, she has devoted herself to expanding opportunities for others. Through the Jackie Joyner-Kersee Foundation, she has invested in young people, strengthened communities, and helped create pathways to success in her hometown of East St. Louis and beyond. She has shown that excellence and service are not competing ideals, but complementary ones. In many ways, Jackie embodies the very best of UCLA: excellence pursued with purpose, leadership rooted in service, and a commitment to expanding opportunities for others. Her story reminds us that our greatest accomplishments are more than the heights we reach. They lie in the opportunities we create for others. Please join me in giving a warm UCLA welcome to our 2026 College Commencement Distinguished Speaker, Jackie Joyner-Kersee.
Thank you. Thank you so very much. You know, it's an honor for me to stand before you. But before I proceed, I would just like to thank the Chancellor, you know, the distinguished platform deans, faculty, families, and friends, but more importantly, each and every one of you. You are the graduates. This is why we're here. We're here to celebrate you. 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 This is like a full circle moment for me. I never thought in my wildest dreams, once when I stepped on the campus of UCLA and faced many challenges as a freshman, losing my mother unexpectedly. Kept traveling back to East St. Louis, not sure what I was going to do, but knowing that the one thing I had going for me was a scholarship, a dorm room with my own bed, and a cafeteria with all the food I could ever want and need. So when I think about all of this and this moment here, as the Chancellor spoke about me being a Bruin before I became an Olympic champion. 84, a lot of you weren't even born, probably weren't even thought of, but anyway, I redshirted that year so I could try to make the Olympic team. And my mother didn't finish high school, and all she wanted for me, as well as my younger sisters and my older brother, was to get a great education. And coming on the campus of UCLA, having an opportunity to use athletics as a pathway to something that was so dear to my heart, while trying to make the 1984 Olympic team, not being able to graduate with my class, because the next year, most people didn't think I was going to come back. They felt I was going to go pro. But the promise I made to my mother, if the opportunity presented itself, I would come back and I would graduate. And at that time, Dr. Judith Holland was the athletic director. And I told her that regardless what happened in those 84 games, I will come back. And I did. And I graduated. You know, there are many messages. Each and every one of you have fought long hours. Your families have poured into you, and you have poured into yourself. You have made sacrifices, you have made commitments, but you all have dreams and you all have goals. And one of the things that I want to just share with you, while you create that space, what you want to become the best version of yourselves. Don't compromise your belief to fit into any particular group. Stand strong on your own belief. Stand strong, believe it in yourself. And if there's anything that I can leave with you, it is the 3 letters, the CIA, and its character. What you do in the dark, you should do in the light. Don't change your character. Integrity. If you say you're going to do something, do it. Live up to your words. If you're going to give to the community, give to the community. That community is the community that you have created, but also the community of UCLA. And accountability. We all have to be accountable for something. And why not start with ourselves? When we look in that mirror, the person that's looking back at us is the person that's responsible for the attitude, for the work, for the success, for the commitment, for the discipline, for the desire, the dedication, determination. But when you look in that mirror, you might see yourself alone. Never forget the people who wrapped their arms around you when you didn't think you could do it. So I say to each and every one of you graduates, this is your night, this is your celebration. And in the beginning, when I was saying I never dreamed that this moment would happen for me. Not only am I able to graduate with you, I've done it 3 times today. God bless you all, and thank you.
Thank you, Jackie, for those amazing words. I'm Darnell Hunt, UCLA's Executive Vice Chancellor and Provost. It is my honor to call Chancellor Julio Frank to the podium. The deans of the college will present the candidates for the conferral of their degrees. Presenting the candidates for the Bachelor of Arts in Disability Studies in the Division of Undergraduate Education is Dean and Vice Provost Adriana Galvan.
Thank you, Executive Vice Chancellor and Provost Hunt. The Disability Studies graduates have completed the first degree of its kind to be offered at a public university in California. These trailblazing graduates have studied how disability is a core aspect of the human experience, something the majority of us at some point will experience in either a temporary or permanent way during our lives. They've mastered the ability to think critically, to conduct important research, to express their experience in the arts, and to apply what they've learned in our community as champions. They've proven themselves to be exceptionally versatile scholars by excelling in advanced courses representing a wide range of disciplines. We are proud to be cultivating a growing community of scholars in a field that values empathy and intersectional thinking. As graduates, they will serve at the forefront of transforming society's perceptions of disability. Their goal is nothing short of a more inclusive society, one that extends opportunity for success to everyone. I'm so proud of their work. Excelling alongside our bachelor students in the important foundational courses of this discipline are our minors in disability studies. Since 2007, we've graduated over 300 minors in disability studies. Will the candidates for the degree of Bachelor of Arts in Disability Studies and our degree candidates completing the Disability Studies minors please stand if you're able and remain standing. Chancellor Frank, it is my honor to present to you our groundbreaking, artistic, socially committed, outrageously compassionate, and entirely phenomenal candidates for the Bachelor of Arts degree in Disability Studies and the Disability Studies minor in the Division of Undergraduate Education.
Thank you, Adriana. Candidates for the Bachelor of Arts degree and the minors in Disability Studies, please be seated. Presenting the candidates for the bachelor's degrees in the Division of Physical Sciences is Dean Miguel Garcia Garibay.
Thank you, Executive Vice Chancellor and Provost Hunt. So I will be presenting the candidates for the degrees of Bachelor of Science and Bachelor of Arts in the Division of Physical Sciences to Chancellor Frank. You are very close to accomplishing a major milestone in your lives. So I would like to invite you to celebrate, to recognize your own accomplishments by being a little noisy when I mention your major, okay? Actually, I want you to be very noisy. Will the candidates for the degrees of Bachelors of Science and Bachelors of Arts in the Division of Physical Science please raise and remain standing if you're able? All of you. You have learned about the great challenges of our time, deep questions about the nature of our universe, about our origins, and above all, about our future in the universe in which we live. For instance, climate change lies in the domains of our students in atmospheric and oceanic sciences. Earth, planetary, and space sciences. And the Institute of the Environment and Sustainability. The discovery of compounds that cure diseases and that lead to the sustainable generation of energy will be the world of our graduates in chemistry and biochemistry. The investigation into the structure and deep history of the universe, as well as the possibility of other life in the cosmos, will be pioneered by our physics and astronomy graduates. The mastery of flow of data that we must now process in order to understand and manage an even more complex world will be the domain of our graduates in mathematics, statistics and data science, and data theory. All of this and more will be addressed by you, our graduates, again, in atmospheric and oceanic sciences, earth, planetary, and space sciences, statistics and data science, environmental science, physics and astronomy, mathematics, and chemistry and biochemistry. Physical sciences graduates, you all live here with a deep fan of knowledge in the sciences underlying what we know about the world. You also carry with you finely honed skills in reasoning and analysis that will equip you to overcome the most daunting intellectual challenges that will be thrown your way. You are the cream of the crop. You have mastered the hard sciences. Chancellor Frank, it is my honor to present to you the dedicated, inquisitive, analytical, gifted, and altogether stellar candidates for the degrees of Bachelors of Science and Bachelors of Arts in the Division of Physical Sciences.
Thank you, Miguel. Candidates for the bachelor's degrees from the physical sciences, please be seated. Presenting the candidates for the bachelor's degree in the Division of Humanities is Dean Alexandra Minna Stern.
Thank you, Executive Vice Chancellor and Provost Hunt. Will the candidates for the Bachelor of Arts degree in the Division of Humanities please rise if you are able and remain standing? Let's see you. When I think of you and I see you out there, I reflect that the greatest public research university in the land educates experts and seekers of knowledge of many kinds, and that among these, since UCLA's founding a century ago, there have always been the experts in humankind. The young people who felt called to study the human legacy itself, the thought and languages and literatures and arts that define our personal and social lives and our long cultural histories. Indeed, universities have since their earliest beginnings over a millennium ago made a place for fundamental consideration of human value, human meaning, and human improvement. From this seed of the humanities grew the university, which continues to grow even as we humans have faced ever-renewed challenges and opportunities. Humanities graduates, what have you learned, and what will you take with you from UCLA to teach others? And get ready, you're being cued, and please be noisy as well. You are graduates in philosophy. You are exacting caretakers of the truth. You are linguists, scholars of language itself as a human faculty and medium of communication. You are art historians, keen observers of the image and its uses. You are scholars of religion and how humans' deepest beliefs about the world shape their lives. Many of you are learners of difficult languages, including the more than 60 languages we teach at UCLA. And you're sharp and independent-minded readers of the literatures of the world. And let's list them, and please cheer as you hear the one you focused on: English languages and literature, Asian languages and literature, Near Eastern languages and literature, comparative literature, classics, Spanish and Portuguese, Slavic, East European, and Eurasian languages and cultures, and European languages and transcultural studies. And many of you here this evening have completed minors in digital humanities, the study of religion, and the professional writing minor. I hope that you've completed the coursework for your degrees with joy in learning and with a real drive to understand all that is human. But I know you're also aware of the very practical, very considerable powers you've acquired. You're highly trained writers, critical thinkers, and speakers. You're readers and translators and interpreters of complex human situations and histories, including situations of conflict. You're living encyclopedias of culture and spokespeople for the commitments held most dear by human beings. And you're critics, creators, free thinkers, and fighters for justice, and continually self-correcting learners. These are powers that any workplace needs, and they're very clearly the powers that the world needs today. Chancellor Frank, I present to you the eloquent, erudite, cultured, thoughtful, enormously smart, resourceful, and passionately humane candidates for the degree of Bachelor of Arts from the Division of Humanities. Congratulations.
Thank you, Alex. Candidates for the bachelor's degree from the humanities, please be seated. Presenting the candidates for the bachelor's degree in the Division of Life Sciences is Dean Tracy Johnson.
Thank you, Executive Vice Chancellor and Provost Hunt. Will the candidates for the degrees of Bachelor of Science and Bachelor of Arts in the Division of Life Sciences please rise if you're able and remain standing? I would like to start by congratulating you all for all you've accomplished over these truly extraordinary 4 years. While this time has brought challenges to all of us, there have been opportunities for extraordinary growth and remarkable triumphs. To this end, it is important for us to take stock of what the disciplines within the life sciences have accomplished. These are the disciplines that you have all explored and embraced. And they've accomplished extraordinary things at a remarkable time. These are accomplishments like research in psychology that has helped us understand and, yes, ameliorate psychological stress. Advances in computational and systems biology that have allowed us to develop computational models that can predict the structures of proteins and design drugs to target their functions. And because of fundamental studies in immunology and molecular biology, we can reprogram immune cells and fight cancer. Advances in molecular genetics have made it possible, for the first time, to develop gene therapy to treat sickle cell anemia and other devastating diseases. Yes, in this short time that you have been students here at UCLA, disciplines in the life sciences have quite literally been at the center of addressing the most fundamental global challenges of a generation. But frankly, this isn't new, because life sciences disciplines have long been at the forefront of addressing the most fundamental and existential questions of our time. Questions like, what is the impact of human activity on the planet, and what do we need to do to mitigate negative impacts? How do we prevent and cure life-threatening diseases? What is consciousness? How do we think? How do we learn? How do we love? And how does that 3-pound organ in our skulls affect all of this? At UCLA, to address these exciting biological questions, we offer a dozen majors in the life sciences. And you all know this because life sciences is the home of the largest number of undergraduate majors at UCLA. All right, so listen for it. These majors include computational and systems biology, ecology, behavior, and evolution, marine biology, human biology and society, cognitive science, microbiology, immunology, and molecular genetics, molecular cell and developmental biology, physiology, neuroscience, psychobiology, biology, and psychology. So as UCLA has recently marked its first 100 years, you are graduating Bruins in the life sciences. You will lead us into the next 100 years as our future doctors, leaders, teachers, research scientists, therapists, entrepreneurs, and global citizens. So Chancellor Frank, it is my honor to present to you the psychologically well-adjusted, neurologically well-connected, ecologically sensitive, evolutionarily complex, immunologically flexible, molecularly elegant, physiologically well-integrated, computationally sophisticated, and absolutely amazing candidates for the degrees of Bachelor of Science and Bachelor of Arts in the Life Sciences.
Very impressive. Thank you, Tracy. Candidates for the bachelor's degrees in the life sciences, please be seated. Presenting the candidates for the bachelor's degree in the Division of Social Sciences is Dean Abel Valenzuela, Jr.
Thank you, Executive Vice Chancellor and Provost Hunt. Will the candidates for the degrees of Bachelor of Science and Bachelor of Arts in the Division of Social Sciences please rise if you are able, and do so loudly and proudly, and remain standing. Today marks not only the completion of a degree, but the culmination of years of curiosity, sacrifice, growth, and determination. Each of you should be incredibly proud of what you have accomplished. Our motto in the social sciences is engaging Los Angeles, changing the world. And you are now positioned and expected to take what you have learned and make your mark in the world. As social scientists, you will have the opportunity to claim a seat at the table to help shape the positive changes you want to see in the world. As social scientists, you will address economic, political, and social conditions in order to create more equity and opportunity in our public and our private institutions. As social scientists, you will examine the roots of social and cultural conflicts to move us towards a more just and humane society, one in which kindness, thoughtful engagement, and connection among all of us will drive meaningful change and inspire tremendous good. As social scientists, you will communicate across cultures and communities, forging enduring partnerships with people different from yourselves, whether from different neighborhoods, different cities, different states, different political parties, or different nations, in part because we are one UCLA and we embrace our differences and expansiveness across multiple spaces. As social scientists from UCLA, you have learned from the faculty in the division that has the largest number of departments that are among the best in the world, and you will be active agents for change in the construction of a better society, and I am profoundly in awe of your accomplishments now, and we await your impact moving forward. All of you in the social sciences, including those in geography, aerospace, military science, and naval science, American Indian Studies, communication, labor studies, anthropology, archaeology, Asian American studies, gender studies, LGBTQ studies, Chicana, Chicano, and Central American studies, history, sociology, African American studies, political science, and economics. You have learned to look at the world through a new lens of understanding. You have the research skills, the cultural insight, and community-oriented perspective to change the world. Today, we celebrate your achievements and the promise of a future that benefits from your leadership. You have reached this moment not despite the challenges you have faced, but because you faced these challenges with dedication, thoughtfulness, and hard work. Chancellor Frank, I am honored to present to you the most socially engaged, research-savvy, service-oriented, culturally creative, interactionally skillful, connected in multimodal ways, around-the-clock, inspired and inspiring, multilingual, multicultural, and multi-everything you could ever think of, plus more. The candidates for the degrees of Bachelor of Science and Bachelor of Arts from the great division of Social Sciences at UCLA. Congratulations, class of 2026.
Thank you, Abel. Candidates for the bachelor's degrees from the Division of Social Sciences, please be seated. The candidates for the bachelor's degrees have now been presented. I call on Chancellor Frank to confer the degrees of Bachelor of Science and Bachelor of Arts on the class of 2026. Will all of the candidates for the degree of Bachelor of Science and Bachelor of Arts please stand and remain standing?
This is the moment we have all been waiting for. Graduates, your presence here is a testimony to your talent, dedication, and resilience. The class of 2026 has earned a special place in our university's 107-year story. And while your time as an undergraduate student may be coming to an end, you will always be a Bruin. The knowledge and skills you've gained, both in the classroom and beyond, will guide you as you navigate and shape a rapidly evolving world. We hope you will keep this remarkable place close wherever life takes you. Now, by virtue of the authority vested in me by the Regents of the University of California, I hereby confer upon you the degree of Bachelor of Arts or Bachelor of Science. Before receiving your degree, you wore your tassels on the right side of your mortarboards. Now it is time to move the tassel to the left and join the select company of UCLA graduates. Bachelors, turn your tassels. Congratulations and go Bruins!
To close commencement, please join in the singing of the alma mater, Hail to the Hills of Westwood, performed by Trinity de la Cruz, Sophie Spear, Andreas Delgado, and Kyle Shu from the Herb Alpert School of Music.
Hail to the hills of Westwood, to the mighty sea below. Hail to our alma mater, she will conquer every foe. For we're loyal to the Southland, her honor we
Thank you, Trinity, Sophie, Andreas, and Kyle. And to all of you, thank you so much for joining us tonight to celebrate our class of 2026 graduates. Go Bruins!